Good evening. It's 10:28 on February 9th. I want to give an update on Post Cereal, Post Holding, POST. And on Thursday evening, they reported bad earnings. And in a while, they said that their business is actually slowing down. And they opened at 102, went down to 100, and then it went up to 105. And then it went back down at a close around 102. And the stock has done quite well. If you look at it from a standpoint going back 2015, this was a $30 stock. And, if you go back to 2018, they were a $70 stock. So from 70, it went to as high as around 114, which is a 60% return. And 2019, it's been basically in a trading range between 95 and about 114, as you can see here. And, I want to show you about these gaps. And usually these gaps get filled on the upside and also on the downside. You can see this gap here in August. There's also another gap here at 97.35. And also these high volume days usually love to be retested. The high volume lows and also the high volume highs. So you can see here on this particular day, on November 22nd, it went down on 2.3 million shares, where the average is about 582,000. And what happened is it ran back up to the prior highs. And there must have been some type of news or expectation of good news, because it went up on 5 days. And obviously the 6th, 7th day, there was no more buyers. So they pushed this back down to about 105. And then it had confirmation of earnings. And the confirmation of earnings was that it's bad. It's slowing down. So this is Post Cereal. I wanted to give an update on this. The chairman of this company came from Ralston Purina. He's a veteran. And what he usually does is he builds these companies up and then he sells it. So this is a company that's extremely well managed. And they recently spun off their Power Bars, which is a company called Bell Ring. And they went open at $15 and ran up to 24. So it did almost 60% return in 3 months. So that's extremely impressive. So they have great management and they're well run. And I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of years that this company gets eventually bought out. But for the short term, for the time being, they reported bad earnings on Thursday, and on Friday it went down on heavy volume. My expectation is this company will actually go higher temporarily. I see this. You could see this high volume day. It went all the way up to 107.64. And I believe it's not going to go straight down and fill these gaps. I believe it's actually going to go higher. And, this is just my guess. Everything I express in my videos, they're for educational purposes only, not for real trading. Please talk to a professional. But there's also another gap here. As you can see here, this gap is around 109. And like I said earlier, most of these gaps get filled. So there's a potential that this stock could actually go past the 107.64 number and even fill this gap. But I believe around these numbers between 107 and 110, I'm going to look to short it. And my first target is this high volume low here at 98.06 and eventually fill this gap here at 97.35. And if you're really bearish, which if we have a market turn heading south, this is going to hit 93.21. So I hope everyone has a great evening. This is a short-term video on Post. I believe these, could substantially happen in the next 60 to 90 days. And like I said, just be very careful in shorting these names. These are only short-term trades, and this video is only for educational purposes. And like I said earlier, this company has extremely good management. And I believe in the next couple of years, this is going to get bought out by someone. So I hope everyone has a great evening. And